Basil, it's tough to come after this much fun. So I'm gonna tell you something about we the Italians, and then a few things that are happening that I would like to involve you guys and also those of my age from Coco Miao through you. So let me just tell you a little bit about we the Italians. I don't know how many of you are familiar about us, our company. Our motto is two flags, one heart, and we always say Italy needs more America, America needs more Italy. And when I say this in Italy, somebody disagrees, and that's okay, but I always say there's 20 million people who are testimonials about the fact that Italy plus the United States is the perfect storm. We are a media company. We have 75,000 contents in our website, wetheitalians.com. Please feel free to browse. We promote every day 25 news about Italy in the United States, Italy and the United States, or positive, only positive things about Italy. We divided the United States in 9 areas. This will be Southeast, and we try to geolocalize whatever we do so people could find what's interesting for them geographically. I have done almost 300 interviews, and I try to do every time a different interview, actually, about Italy and the United States from several point of views. These interviews are published on the website in Italian and English. That's the only Italian content in the website. Also in books. We have published 9 books, which are interesting because every year I interview 24 persons about different things about Italy and the United States, and I try to touch every possible angle. If you have suggestions about somebody who could tell me a good story about good content related to Italy and the United States, I'm all available, thank you. The interviews are also published in the magazine. We have a monthly free magazine in English with 15 columns about Italian excellencies. So cuisine, art, landscapes, handicrafts, good news, you name it, we have it. And it can also be ordered as a hard copy. And we have a newsletter that goes to 100,000 people in the United States. Actually, they have 9 newsletters, one each area. You can subscribe for free, and we will send you once a month a newsletter with some news about Italy in general, the United States from an Italian point of view in general, and something about your area. But we are working with the Ministry for Foreign Affairs in Italy, and as they are working on a project that actually we pitched them to do a year dedicated to route tourism, we brought them the most important company in Italy who works on the metaverse, and they will be doing something together for this year. The year of route tourism is a simple idea: to reach any one of the 60 million Italians who are all over the world who could have an Italian passport. There's 20 million or 26 million here, but there are a lot all over the world, and tell them, come back. Come where your fathers, parents, or grandparents, or great-grandparents came from. Visit, maybe invest. We will welcome you. That year will be dedicated to all of you. We will do something for the tourism, but also on the metaverse thing. So our partner Carraro invested something, and he worked on a video, 5 minutes video, that I would like to share with you if Stephanie helps me. Thank you. The rest of the word is big. In the USA, the Italian American is the 3rd community for number of mentions, and the 1st among those of European descendants, even more than the German Americans and the Irish Americans, which both have twice the number of US citizens, 50 million people. Okay? By the way, if you see the mentions in Italy, they're almost by we Italians. 8,000 others, but it's me, the father of my daughter, the husband of my wife. That's with Italians all over. please. The reputation of Italian Americans in Italy is booming in Italy. This is in Italy. Due to an increased amount of investments and the business, Italian American with the best reputation in Italy. Okay? So, number 5, Robert De Niro. This is Italy, okay? Number 4, Quentin Tarantino. You all know that, right? Number 3 will be Sylvester Stallone. Beautiful. Number 2, Frank Sinatra. Okay? Now, I could spend the whole day asking you who is number 1. And except for one person who is here but already saw this presentation, you will never guess. You know why? Because you don't know who is the Italian American with the best reputation in Italy. You don't know this person. You never heard of this person. Can you believe it? De Niro, Tarantino, Stallone, Sinatra. You don't know them. But you don't know them. And it's not about your age, because this is the same result I'm sure I'll have, and I had when I presented this among people my age, Oliver, older than my age. This is why we have to connect more Italy and the United States, because the Italian American with the best reputation in Italy is somebody you don't know. Please. It's this guy. This guy's name was Mike Bongiorno. Did you know him? Well, okay, thank you. But it's just one. Or yeah, maybe you were born in Italy, maybe you know him, but that's cheating. Now, I prepared a small video that explains who was Mike Bongiorno, because it's important to know who he was. Please, the next slide, there's a video. There should be a video.
There is a video.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Everything. Come on. You're cheating. Exactly. Allegria. Been 100 in 2024, and we are preparing something because we, of course, want to celebrate an Italian American with such a good reputation in Italy, and we want the people, at least in New York, to know him. Born in New York, his parents separated, and he went back to Italy, to Sicily actually, with his mother, and he spoke Italian and English. We're talking about, he was born in 1924, so we're talking about during the fascism, but there was not a lot of people who would speak Italian and English back in those days in Italy. Okay, I'll explain you, don't worry. The voiceover was better. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Mike Bongiorno changed the Italian television landscape during a post-war period in which this powerful media outlet shaped the Italians and represented a tremendous acceleration vehicle toward a future full of economic growth, joy, and happiness. Allegria, Mike used to say, a word that also became for decades the most distinctive expression in the local popular culture. By introducing the quiz show format into the Italian TV evening program, for the first time ever, Mike taught Italians the "you can do it" American spirit, a stage where simple, unknown contestants became extraordinary heroes. The whole country shut down when Mike was on air, like during the games of the national soccer team. Mike's birth name was Michael Nicholas Salvatore Bongiorno, and he was born in New York City in 1924 from parents of Italian descent. His father was a well-known lawyer who became
associating to mafia movies and stereotypes, and yes, of course, there's room to work to get better again, But as you can see, the tag cloud, basically the most important words, maybe all the words, are good words, are positive words, right? This is what the United States speak about Italian Americans in social media and online, okay? It is important, right? Because this tells you what has been said about you guys online in 2021. Next, please. In the last 20 months, we can highlight an increasing negative sentiment related to the Christopher Columbus cancel culture debate. Yes. This is a 24.6% positive sentiment and 20.4% negative sentiment about the cancel culture Columbus debate. But this theme that does not directly affect the reputation of Italian Americans involves them deeply, because probably you guys are the ones who speak about that, but it is not about you. We will look at this in the following slides very quickly. Yes, please. So you can see that 110,000 searches are about Columbus in the United States, and basically all the other countries do not care about this. They don't care about the cancel culture against Columbus. It is not happening abroad. You guys understand? It is happening here. Among the many generic keyword search on Columbus Day, the one concerning the relationship between Columbus Day and indigenous people is only in 10th position by value. People do not look at Columbus and indigenous people. At 10th position, it's there, but the first 9 is not about that. They're not about that. If we shift the focus to Christopher Columbus as an historical figure, the questions that cast a little more doubt on his morality have a monthly search value below 400. Below 400. Compared to the almost 10,000 of questions like, where did Columbus land? Or is Columbus Spanish or Italian? Or when will Columbus Day be this year? You know? So this means that it is not a mainstream problem. Next, please. In the social media discussions about the figure of Christopher Columbus, the 82% is a total neutral position, with a 9% positive sentiment and 9% negative. Instead, in the mainstream media, TV and press, which by default are not dynamic media, the sentiment is 1.7% positive and 0.9% negative. The other 97.4% seems to be pretty neutral. Okay? We perceive, you perceive, I perceive from Italy, that there's a lot of discussion about this, because there is a lot of discussion among us. But generally, it is not that big a deal for the rest of the country. In fact, by looking at overall media environment tax cloud, this is overall media, the word indigenous is present without negative words. You see? Next, please. The problem of the loud noise about this topic on the web is coming from top influencers that with few posts generate a lot of exposure. Next, please. This is the tag cloud, and these are the last two slides. This is the tag cloud from the top 10 influencers. Look at the words. Okay? You have spitting, slaves, mutilated, murder, genocide. Okay? Top influencers. Please, next. This is the mainstream media. Can I say normal people, not influencer people? That's okay? You understand me? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing negative. This is normal. Holiday, day, city, people, Italian. Please come back. Top influencers. Again, ahead. Normal people like you and I. You know what I mean. So this says that probably the efforts should be addressed towards those who make that noise, to educate them maybe, to let them understand that as the people who speaks this, that say this, are their public, they, the top influencers, should stop, because this is what their public think about Columbus. Is there a negative word? I cannot find it. Okay? Thank you. So, very rapidly, this is the first partnership I'd like to pitch with Copo Miao and with you guys. Let's do something to research about Italian Americans. We can research Columbus, the youth, whatever you think about, it's interesting to measure. Because if you measure something, you can do something for that, okay? The second partnership, I asked Basil, and he said that it was a good thing to pitch it to you because it is about youth. We were contacted by a university in Rome. There is a university called Unicamillus. They release degrees in medical and stuff like this. Their students and graduates can apply internationally for the Educational Commission for Foreign Medical Graduate Certification, just like the ones who study here. It's the same, okay? It's the same. Now we want to help, and they will teach Italian to foreign students. If you go to, not you, but if your siblings or somebody from your organization chooses to go there, they will teach Italian too, okay? Because some of the courses are in English, some are in Italian. But we struck a deal, and if somebody comes through us, through Copomiao, through your organization, we are willing to do a free admission test and 5% of the first year payment that goes to your organization or to Copomiao, you just choose. Let me tell you something about the annual cost comparison. Now, in average, medicine and surgery, 6th year here is $63K a year. $63,000. At Unicamillus is $21,000 a year. This means that after 6 years, you have no debt on your shoulder. You know what I mean? And you have been studying in Italy. Now, I will tell you about the other degrees and the opportunities. I don't want to abuse of your time, but this is an opportunity we want to pitch to you because studying in Italy for not you, but your siblings or somebody for your organizations could be very interesting. Of course, it is an important commitment. 6 years or 3 years is important, but this is real. This is legit. This comes through us and through Copomiao. We want to help. We want to work together to bring Italian American students in Italy. Okay, prestigious European Institute for the Study of the United States, and he is saying hi to you. Since its origins, the Center has pursued the goal of fostering relations between Italy and the United States and a dialogue between Italian and American cultures. To this end, the Center organized several events. Part of the Center is the library, which has a collection of more than 50,000 books, both ancient and modern. The catalog is available online. The Center is pleased to be present, albeit virtually, at the Italian American Future Leaders Summit and at this gathering that brings together so many young Italian Americans. This deal is about a project that is called Alla Scoperta dell'America. The Centro Studi Americani decided to do something to fight the fake news about the United States. And so sent scholars to schools in the Lazio region to teach Italian students how the judicial system works here, the political system works here, the American culture, and so on. The deal between Copomiao, who is generously generously sponsoring a part of this project, and Centro Studi Americani, is that through Copomiao, some Italian American leaders will teach something about Italian American experience to these kids in the Lazio region.